Heck yeah. Hi, I'm Eric Kim. I'm a cooking columnist for the New York Times. Today we're making Buttermilk Sugar Biscuits. These are so fantastic. This is one of the best things I've ever eaten. They're very unique. I've never tasted anything like it. I'm from the South, right? I've had many biscuits, but this biscuit is such a new taste to me. It is so flavorful. The sugar creates that gorgeous crust. Right out of the oven, it's super tender on the inside. I went to Portland, Maine last Thanksgiving. My partner found this bakery called Tandem. This bakery always has a line out the door, but that line is absolutely worth waiting in. This biscuit has this incredible crust. It was so different than any other biscuit I'd ever had. When I was looking at the display case, the baker herself, Briana Holt, walked up to me and she was like, "Are you Eric?" And I was like, "Yeah, are you Briana?" And then we just like hit it off. I followed Briana's recipe. I'm not like the world's best baker, but the fact that on my first try, it came out perfectly, it like came out exactly how I had it in Maine. And I felt very smug. I felt better than everyone else in the world. I was like, wow, I'm really talented. The real truth is that it's because of Briana's directions. So I'm really grateful to her for teaching me. This biscuit is incredible. I'm gonna walk you through it, and I have some notes here because I wanna make sure you know every little detail, because those details will not only help you in the kitchen, but they'll also make you feel very empowered while you make these. What's great about this recipe is you don't need any special equipment. You could do the thing where you process the butter to turn it into small pieces before you mix it into the flour, but the method that really works well for me, and the thing that I learned from Briana, is to grate it. It's not quite as coarse of a grate as like a big, cheese grate. It's more of like, I think, these holes. It's not like a fine grate either, that's like too fine. I use this because it's what I have at home and I like the way it looks. I'll show you, it's pretty satisfying. I open it up and keep some of it on so I just have something to hold on to. You just need pressure. You're gonna do 2 sticks actually. Okay, that's basically it. We're gonna freeze this because you want really cold butter. I have tried this overnight, like freezing the butter overnight, and there is such a thing as too cold butter, actually. So 10 minutes is the perfect amount of time. And now I'm going to mix up the dry ingredients. We're gonna start with 3 cups of flour. I'm just gonna scoop and level. So these are called Buttermilk Sugar Biscuits because the sugar is kind of what makes them different. I think a lot of purists, they might be like, that's not a biscuit, that's a cookie. But they're biscuits, you'll see, they're gorgeous. About 100 grams. Baking powder and salt. Perfect timing, that took 10 minutes, right? So we're gonna get the butter out. Yeah, let's see what's in this freezer. Got some vanilla bean ice cream. Vegetable chicken stew. Oh, that looks like my Brunswick stew. That was from like so long ago. Yum. If anyone wants that, bagel bites, delicious. Okay. You wanna wait until it feels like white chocolate. I love white chocolate. This is so satisfying. Like, one thing you could do is put parchment under your plate or whatever so it doesn't stick, but I forgot to, so. You want as much of the butter to touch the flour as possible. Buttermilk. Oops. I love this instruction by Briana. She told me to add the buttermilk in 2 rounds because the reason is you want to hydrate the flour evenly. If you added it all at once, it would like kind of clump in one area. It's pretty crumbly. And I like that she says that. She's like, don't worry, it's gonna be crumbly at this stage. If it's not crumbly, then you may have overmixed. This is like good enough for me. There's no like big pocket of buttermilk. A lot of the mixing happens here, so let's do that. Bench flour, it's gonna seem crumbly, right? But it's gonna come together. You wanna like form it into a rectangle. The bench scraper is gonna be really helpful for these edges. Each time you fold it, you just want it to sort of resemble this a little bit. The first fold, you're gonna take the top and fold it over, hamburger style. It's gonna be crumbly, it's gonna kind of like fall apart and be awkward. I know, it seems like very like, what? That's crazy. Okay, and then I'm gonna do it about 4 more times. You're just like using the rolling pin to sort of get it into a general shape. So see how like I made it into a rectangle again? And now I'm gonna do it, turn it over on itself again. While you're simultaneously creating layers, you're also bringing the dough together Flour your rolling pin. You want to make sure it doesn't stick. See how it's coming together? See how each time we do it, it's like a little less messy. Any like stragglers, just put in the center. The more you do it, the more it will come together. At this stage, I'm feeling it. It's like a little wetter. The flour and the buttermilk and the butter, they're like coming together into their own. Gorgeous. You also kind of want to turn it sometimes because you just want to make sure it's not sticking. Now that the dough is held together, this last fold is really for aesthetics. This is the final fold. That was the last fold. Looks awesome. What I really want to do now is just flatten out a little bit so the two layers kind of like stick, but also so that it's 1.5 inches tall. And you're trying to create a general square, I would say. I want to make sure I'm pretty even on all sides. This one's like, needs to be a little flatter. That's pretty good. Yeah, 1.5, perfect. You want to cut them into 9 squares, so 3 by 3, just vertically down. When you place them on the sheet, you just want to flip them. You're gonna bake them for about like 30 minutes. I found that 25 was like perfect in my oven, but some people need to do longer. Just check them. You're gonna have to rotate the pan halfway anyway. Let's go in. Wow, really happy with those. And now you can clean, or do what I do and just like put it off for like a week. Sometimes I'll have like my counter looking like this for like days. I'm like kind of messy. I'm trying to work on it. Smells amazing. Okay. One fun thing that kind of happens when these bake, they sort of like accordion over, but you know, they're gonna taste good. And the fun thing about these is you do end up just splitting them open and slathering them with butter anyway. Brush them with butter and add some flaky sea salt. You could do butter and jam, but really what I think is super special is the pepper jelly with cream cheese. Briana told me that when she started selling these biscuits, she decided to do the cream cheese and red pepper jelly combination. The cream cheese isn't as greasy as butter. The pepper jelly gives it sort of a savoriness. It's really the sharpness from the pepper jelly that adds a lot to this biscuit. This is a great biscuit. It has this crispy, sugary, crackly crust, which I think is what makes this special. Even if you are a biscuit purist, a Southern biscuit purist, I recommend trying these. They're very different in style. You can make these for Sunday breakfast, Sunday brunch, whatever, but you can also have them like at the dinner table. I think they are so delicious. Thanks for watching. You can get the recipe at NYT, wait, sorry. I know the marketing person wants me to be like, you can get this recipe and many more at New York Times Cooking.